First up, is President Trump the only leader who could have got Benjamin Netanyahu to agree to this?
I think that's probably true. We always knew over this last year in all of the discussions internationally that we needed US engagement. There are other parts to building the pathway to peace, including the unprecedented commitments of the Arab League, recognition and so forth. But President Trump has got this over the line. It is an extraordinary achievement and one that people around the world are supportive of, and it will bring, we hope, where there has been despair for the people of Gaza, and I hope long-term peace for the people of Palestine and of Israel.
Yeah, nice to see some smiles for a change in that part of the world. It's been few and far between, but the coalition says that they stuck with the US throughout and stuck with the US brokered peace plan. They've been vindicated in their view. Should you have stuck with our major ally?
The coalition really has been out of step with the international community for such a long time. Remember, the coalition opposed a ceasefire that President Trump himself supported. Remember, the coalition has not understood the way in which the international community, that different countries of the world have come together over a year to try and work how it is that we create the conditions for the pathway to peace. How do we build momentum? The coalition has been out of step with the United Kingdom, Canada, Australia and the many countries which sought to recognise, to help provide that momentum. The coalition has not understood the unprecedented commitments of the Arab League, including countries like Egypt and Qatar and Turkey, which have been central to isolating Hamas and enabling this deal to be possible. So unfortunately, what we've seen from the coalition is negativity, a desire to have a political division, when really we should be speaking with one voice, trying to contribute to peace.
Should you have stuck, though, we mentioned the coalition, but Marco Rubio said that recognition was a gift to Hamas. He said that it's a meaningless move for our own domestic purposes. That's what Marco Rubio said. Should we have stuck with him
and President Trump,
the US?
And President Trump also said yesterday, I think it was on Fox News, that he had said to Prime Minister Netanyahu, "You can't fight the world, Bibi." I think it is...
1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
you have to recognise that all the different contributions from, most importantly, the countries of the region, but other parts of the international community, have contributed this momentum, and it has been the engagement of and the leadership of President Trump which has landed the deal.
That comment, "You can't fight the world, Bibi," do you see that as vindication for this government, for your government's move?
I see it as confirmation that being part of international momentum towards peace was the right call. In relation to the United States and its approach to this, Donald Trump, there's some talk of him getting the Nobel Peace Prize. Would you support that? Do you think that would be a good move? Well, certainly this peace plan is historically unprecedented, and this has been the biggest contribution to peace that we have seen in a very long time.
So you wouldn't be opposed to that idea?
Yeah. Obviously, it's a matter for the committee, but this has been the greatest contribution to peace in the Middle East for a generation or more. I think if we see when we see the hostages returned and aid flowing into Gaza, what peace enables, I think, will come home to all of us.
I know you've only got a couple of minutes in this morning tea break, but a couple of other moves. Just further on that, Donald Trump has thrown out the political norms, or the diplomatic norms, hasn't he? He's a disruptor. Is that what was needed to break what is a centuries-long, an ancient conflict, in a sense?
He plays by a different playbook, and it's working. The fact that we have the Netanyahu government, Israeli cabinet, I think just an hour ago or so, a couple of hours ago, agreeing to this peace plan, that we're seeing Hamas agreeing to this plan, but that is unprecedented.
Would we be involved in a peacekeeping force?
Look, we haven't been asked, and we would consider any request in the usual way.
Chris Minns said it was the right call to block that protest at the Opera House, and I know social cohesion's been an issue that you've been aware of, and saying don't bring the conflict here. If this peace deal is done, this ceasefire achieved, should people just ease up on that sort of weekly protest now?
Well, I think certainly political leaders should ease up, and I think we've seen both the Coalition and the Greens really try to bring the conflict here politically. I think it's a time for us to all come together, supporting peace in the Middle East, and also bringing our country, bringing groups who've been very opposed back together. I mean, social cohesion matters, and what that means is we live in peace, we respect each other's rights to have different views, and we do disagree respectfully. We don't engage in violence, we don't engage in hatred, and we don't engage in abuse.
Many in the Jewish community and beyond were shocked after that October 8-9 protest. I think it was shortly after October 7, 2023. Did the government drop the ball on social cohesion around that point and from that point?
Well, I think the Prime Minister, other ministers, including I, expressed how unacceptable some of the statements made then were. And we have worked over these last 2 years to try and strengthen our social cohesion at times where it has been very difficult. I suspect if you are a very regional person and you look at how some of the other political leaders have handled this, they could not say the same thing.
You've got to go back. Well, last question. I spoke to the Israeli ambassador to mark October 7. He said he does speak to you and he's in contact with you a lot, but he did say that the relationship has fallen away in the last few years. Will you speak to him and try to repair that relationship with a key democracy in the region?
Well, look, I deal with the ambassador often, and it has been difficult. We have had a different view. We have had a different view on the actions of the Netanyahu government. You have seen the response from the Prime Minister Netanyahu. We have had very strong differences of opinion and of, policy and philosophy with the current Israeli government. But what we want to do now is to back in President Trump's peace plan. That's the best thing for the people of Israel and the people of Gaza.
And rebuild that relationship as well?
Look, Israel is a long-standing relationship for Australia and a relationship that matters even when we disagree.
Foreign Minister, thank you for your time. Appreciate it.
Good to speak with you.